I.S.U.P.K on the command of YAHANNA, where the best rappers reside. Hopping out one west. I just want to be mentioned among the best. Whether it's top 10, top 5, or top 3, as long as you mention me. Let's go. Aim, shoot, reset, reload. Aim, shoot, reset, reload. Aim, shoot, reset, reload. Reset, reload. Shooting like free throws. Aim, shoot, reset, reload. Aim, shoot, reset, reload. Aim, shoot, reset, reload, reset, reload, shooting like free throws. I got a lot of guns, yeah, I keep an arsenal. Bullets fly right by your head like a cardinal. The way I aim, shoot, aim is remarkable. Brains out the scalp, hanging out like a partial do. Get your head laced, I ain't talking about a wig. And don't talk about smoking unless you talking about the cig. I ain't talking about a Newport, I'm talking about the barrel. Only path that my bullets go is a straight narrow. Aim, shoot, can't forget to reload. I hate swimming with the fishes like Nemo. This big 4-4, a bullet like Debo. And the cannon brown, I call that bitch Nino. The Glock ain't got a safety, that motherfucker psycho. Fuck around, hit you by mistake like a typo. Hopping out one west in case you're sleeping on me. And you ain't gotta worry, cause you know I keep it on me. As I aim, shoot, reset, reload. Aim, shoot, reset, reload. Aim, shoot, reset, reload, reset, reload, shooting like free throws. Aim, shoot, reset, reload. Aim, shoot, reset, reload. Aim, shoot, reset, reload, reset, reload, shooting like free throws. This AK to go, I call this bitch Michael. It got a lot of versions, but my favorite is the micro. Hits you in your stomach, lose weight like lipo. Hits you in your brain, watch it drain, there your life go. Cold word, Geico, better have insurance. And 100-round drum mean the gun got endurance. Got a Springfield XD, it's a 4.5, showing out for social media. Watch it go live, got my first gun, a High Point, back in 05. Some says trash when you ask, they don't know why. Had a situation, couple niggas ran down on me. Let's just say that motherfucker never jammed on me. I love guns, yeah, they come and they go away. If it ain't in your name, it's a throwaway. MP5 down your whole block, watch me air it. If you had a bad day, this AR will lift your spirit. When I aim, shoot, reset, reload. Aim, shoot, reset, reload. Aim, shoot, reset, reload, reset, reload, shooting like free throws. Aim, shoot, reset, reload. Aim, shoot, reset, reload. Aim, shoot, reset, reload, reset, reload, shooting like free throws.
Drop dummy.
I know you wanna marry a priest, but first I gotta wait and see. You know you gotta. And I know you wanna feel my touch, but girl, it ain't no rush. I'ma teach you just hush and just. I can tell from the first day you was all in. Gave you my number, you start texting and calling. You ain't waste no time, little mama persistent. When I teach about the scriptures, you be quiet and listen. You had a few questions, so I answer with no hesitation. How the white man the devil, why we need separation, why you can't have your kid birthday celebration. We greatly deceived by the dragon that's in Revelation. Baby chill, you just gotta be patient. I know your thoughts racing, it's a lot of information, but you want to learn, so I'll be glad to teach you. Cause once we locked in, I never leave you. I know you want to marry a priest, but first I gotta wait and see. You know you gotta. And I know you want to feel my touch, but girl, it ain't no rush. I'ma teach you just hush and just. Now Now it's time to move to phase 2. We've been talking for a year, you ain't changed, been the same since day 2. Attending every class, met my sisters and my brothers, put you through a couple tests, and you pass with flying colors, plus you follow my lead. You make me proud of what I molded, through the pressure and correction, could've easily afforded. Baby, know you a ruby, you let your light shine bright. You the type I gotta wipe, cause you gon' hold me down for life. That's right, I can't lie, resisting you was the hardest, cause you bad as fuck, covered up and dressed modest. So I know I wanna spend my whole life with you. Now it's time to go and make this shit official. You know you really needed a priest to spend the rest of your life with me. But first you had to. And now that you my wife, we locked in for life, and the feeling's just right, cause you made the choice to. You know the saying, good things come to those who wait. And the scripture said, I will make a man more precious than fine gold. But that's what you're waiting on, girl. And trust me, it's worth it. Just take your time, do it right, you understand? Everything gonna be alright. Most High in Christ. All right, Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, out of Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. This is Priest and Officer of 1,000 YAHANNA, and this is the I.S.U.P.K Houston Sunday Scripture Breakdown class. All right, so what we're gonna go into today, man, as y'all can see from the title, is that the oppressor painted us the wrong picture. Why do I say that? Because I ain't gonna lie, the oppressor is like Picasso, man. You know what I'm saying? They like Picasso with the vision that they wanted to portray to us. And not only have they painted us the wrong picture, they continue to paint us the wrong picture through media, through movies, through TV, through radio, through whatever mainstream avenues possible. They continue to, perpetuate this image that is just absolutely false. You understand what I'm saying? So one of the ways that they painted us the wrong picture is how they took the Bible and they turned this Bible into something that could benefit them instead of what it actually is. And how did they do that? So when I say paint the wrong picture, they whitewashed the prophets. They perpetuated Christ in a way that turned him from the greatest black revolutionary to some soft, Caucasian guy. I don't know if I can say that word. If you can say Caucasian, I don't know if that's maybe not. It's not really, they turned Christ into this, and they turned it from the greatest black revolutionary, the greatest black man that ever walked the planet Earth, and turned him into this, Caucasian guy who's, long stringy hair, soft spoken, loves everybody. What else? I mean, just effeminate. You know what I'm saying? You had something? You got the microphone.
Yeah, one of the things they did for a while was gave us half of the Bible.
Half of the Bible, right?
You know
the New Testament,
right?
Or the prison Bible. They call it the prison Bible, just the Psalms and Proverbs, and then all the New Testament.
Right.
That's it. Oh yeah. I mean, and again, not only that, but also even after around the 1630s, they took what we call now the Apocrypha out the Bible. So they removed books out the Bible. They it looked like somebody might be at the door. I don't know, Salakia. Not only did they remove books out the Bible, but they also took, bits of, they created certain versions of the Bible or certain transliterations of the Bible that removed whole pages, removed certain scriptures, certain verses, and whole pages out the Bible. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a whole agenda to, you know, it's all to keep us docile, keep us full, keep us fooled, and not able to, you know, fully grasp the truth of these scriptures. And then when our people first finally hear the truth, it's like, what? Wait a minute, you know, it's like mind blowing to us, you know, when we first hear it, because it's like, wait, I wasn't taught this. I don't understand it like this. What? Like this is different. This is crazy. Right. So we're going to start with Job chapter 9, verse 24. This is the reason why our oppressor has done this. And I'm using the word oppressor for a reason, because, you know, the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We can't speak on them without them censoring us, you know, especially on their platforms like YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that. So that's why I'm using that terminology. So we're going to start with Job chapter 9, verse 24.
Come, this is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You understand what I'm saying? That means the wicked is running this place right now. When you look at who's at the top, who's controlling everything, who controls the money, who controls everything, the top 1% of the banks, the currency, all of that. Who controls that? The oppressor. You understand? We definitely don't control it. We have no control. In fact, you understand what I'm saying? It says the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. Go ahead.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof. He painted that Picasso. You understand what I'm saying? He then took Moses and made him look like, you know, I don't know what the hell. You understand? Turned Christ into a Caucasian man. Turned all the prophets into Caucasians. And how do we know this? Because when you look at old cartoons or old movies like the Ten Commandments, ain't none of them in there black.
Right.
But the Bible described them as black people. You understand what I'm saying? But you'll never know it. Our people would never know the greatest prophets, the people that actually, the people of this Bible are black people. And this book is for black people. You understand what I'm saying? And all we have to do is do a little research. You understand what I'm saying? Keep reading.
If not, where and who is he?
If not, where and who is he? So if the oppressor not the devil that the Bible speaks of, if not, where and who is he? Right. Who is the devil that the Bible speaks of? Who is creating all this evil and chaos on earth? Who is the greatest deceiver on the earth? Who is the greatest murderer on the earth then? If it ain't the oppressor, who is it then? That's what the Bible is saying. All right, give me
like if I may
go ahead.
To the point of when you were saying that you know, the people that run this earth, you know what I'm saying? It's a quote, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, they say, find out the people that you can't talk about, and those are the people that rule. You know what I'm saying? It used to be for a long time the so-called Jewish man, but now it's the LG, the rest of the letter community. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, you can't say anything about them in their culture without being scrutinized.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't, like you have to come up with new terms to call them, like, you know what I'm saying, it, thee, and they, and all types of things. And they what makes matters worse, they've even given our natural women a new name. You know what I'm saying?
It was a
cisgender.
Cis woman or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I heard that.
Yeah, that's all I got, sir.
Good night. I mean, and that's a heavy point, because it's the people behind it. It's not even necessarily like the community is just it's no different from the Black Lives Matter movement. That's just a front for the people that actually run the show, like that control them. Just like the Jewish man, like it is the Jewish people, obviously, but they're using all these different fronts to push an agenda. You understand what I'm saying? They're going to get the LGBT community behind them. They're going to get this behind them. They're going to get that behind them. But all of this is still pushing their agenda. You understand what I'm saying? And you can't talk about them. Like you said, you're right. You can't talk. As soon as you canceled, you get like the Me Too movement. What else? They make you look like you mentally you got issues. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a celebrity, as soon as a celebrity starts speaking out against it, all of a sudden now they're facing, backlash from the media saying that they're crazy. You look at Cat Williams, Martin, all these different celebrities that spoke out against them. Now all of a sudden they're crazy. You understand what I'm saying? Or you going to jail, or your character is gonna get defamed to the point where people forget about you. Right. You understand what I'm saying? You can't speak out against these people. But guess what? Even the animals know who, you know what I'm saying, the oppressor is. Give me Job 12:7. Even the animals know.
This is the book of Job, chapter 12, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee.
Ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee. They're going to show you. They're going to tell you who the devil is, because the person that's been ripping up their habitat, locking them up in cages, putting them in zoos, and some people say, well, you know what? They're just doing it to protect them because they can't live out. Well, if they wouldn't have never been hunting them and, trying to use them for research purposes in the first place and just leave them alone in their natural habitat, then they wouldn't be endangered. Right. They wouldn't be, going extinct. They wouldn't be having these issues that they're having. They're having the issues that they're having is because these people want to go mess with them. Leave the animals alone. Leave them. Like, why are you bothering them? They're not bothering you. They were put here on the earth for a purpose. Let them serve their purpose. Just like all bugs and everything has a purpose on the earth. You understand what I'm saying? We may not like it, but they have a purpose. Just like spiders. A lot of people don't like spiders, but guess what? They catch all the annoying bugs that you don't like too, like the flies. You understand what I'm saying? And other little flying bugs that you don't like. So let them serve their purpose. You understand what I'm saying? Keep going.
God. And the fowls of the air.
And the fowls of the air.
And they shall teach thee.
They'll tell you who the oppressor is. You understand what I'm saying? Keep going.
Verse 8. Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee. And the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee.
And the fishes of the sea, shall declare unto thee, man. They going out here and just killing the fishes by the masses, all the oils and all the stuff that's in the oceans. The Gulf of Mexico looks like
coffee.
Yeah, it looks like coffee. It looks like the worst bathtub water that you've ever seen in your life. You understand what I'm saying? A whole ocean full of it. It's to the point where I wouldn't even want to put my toes in the water. You understand what I'm saying? It looks so bad. But that's just the product of this oppressor and what they're trying to do, because they're drilling holes in the earth, trying to look for oil and resources and, doing all these different things. All right. Give me Job 30:30, because we need to point out the fact that these prophets in the Bible are black men. You understand what I'm saying? The Jews are black. The prophets in the Bible are black men. And once we understand that, then we'll understand that the Bible is written for black people. You understand what I'm saying? This Bible wasn't meant for everybody. And it's okay. It's okay. A lot of people find that offensive. Wait a minute. So you trying to say the Bible is only for Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians? Yes. It's nothing wrong with having your own stuff that's for you. You are a special people unto the Lord. Embrace what the Lord has for you. That's just guess what? When you getting a gift, it's your gift. Right. You ain't sharing. You ain't saying, hey, this is our gift. You ain't taking this down the street to, your friend at school or whatever. You get a gift from your parents. Your parents buy you a new Hot Wheels set. You're not going to go to your friend at school and say, hey, my parents bought us a Hot Wheels set. This is ours. No, this is your Hot Wheels set. Now, you might want to share it or something because you just have that in your heart. But it's yours, and it's yours. At the end of the day, when you at that basketball court and you brought your basketball, when they get done with it, you taking your ball home. Right. You understand what I'm saying?
If you don't get picked.
Yeah, you don't get picked. That's your ball. You understand what I'm saying? This is our Bible. This is our book of records. This is our historical records. This is our law, statutes, and commandments. This is for us. The Most High is our God, not everybody else's God. Right. You understand? And we need to understand that as a people. And the only way we're going to understand that is we got to get that whitewashing out of our head. We got to understand that the prominent people of this Bible are black people. So now we can start to look at life different. We can start to look at life like, okay, you know what? So the prophets are black. Christ was black. Then that means I'm a special person because I'm black. And we need to start embracing that because we are. The Lord has made, he chose us. And you need to embrace that. You understand what I'm saying? Give me Job 30 and 30.
This is the book of Job, chapter 30, verse 30. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat.
You see that? He said, and this is when Job was just talking about all the different things. Like right now, Job is not even happy. He's not proudly saying I'm black. He's going through it right now. You know, everybody understands the story of Job and what Job went through. Job was going through torment. Job was going through, a rough time. He lost his family. He lost everything, man. His animals and just everything that he had already had. He lost it all. And right now he's going through it. You understand what I'm saying? He's saying my skin is black upon me. And he's like, and what keep going again? What he said?
And my bones are burned with heat.
So he's saying my bones are burned with heat. So he's like, man, I'm black as hell. It's hot as hell. You understand what I'm saying? Like it sounds like how we talk. Like, dang, man, this sun got me black as hell, man. Like it's hot. Like he didn't say nothing about he being sunburned. He didn't say nothing about that. He just said I'm black as hell and my bones are burned with heat. That lets you know that he's a black man. He's saying that he's noticing. He's just talking about how black he is. You understand what I'm saying? Give me Songs of Solomon 1 and 5.
This is the book of Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon.
You see that? And this right here is these women they're singing to Solomon, or they're writing, or I believe this might have been a poem or something, right? But they're writing this to Solomon, and it's like they're describing him, and they're saying, read it again.
I am black, but comely.
They're saying, I am black, but comely, meaning I am black, but handsome. Oh, I look good. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar.
As the tents of Kedar, go ahead.
As the curtains of Solomon.
As the curtains of Solomon. So it's a reflection of him through them, of what they see of him. You understand what I'm saying? That's what they're saying. So, but they're describing them. I am black but comely. Like I may be dark, but I look good, Let's go to Revelation 1 and 13. But see, these are the type of scriptures that the Christian pastors are not going to bring out. And some of them don't know it. I'm not going to sit up here and persecute the pastors saying, hey, they're purposely leaving this information out. They may not know it. They don't know the Bible for real. They go to all these years of seminary school to be taught how to bamboozle you. They're not really taught the Bible to teach you salvation. They're taught what they need to know in order to swindle you out of your money. It's no different from acting school. How do you think they know how to captivate a crowd? They know how to walk back and forth. They know how to integrate with the crowd. They know how to use a certain way, how they dap their forehead with the cloth. You know what I'm saying? It's the way they raise their voice high pitch and then bring it back. They go hard, then they tone it down. You know what I'm saying? It's all a show. It's all to captivate you, like, wow. Like, man, surely he's a man of God. Like it's all to get your emotions riled up, because guess what? When your emotions are involved, you get to going into that pocketbook. And it's not a secret that 70 to 75% of every congregation that you go to is women. You know what I'm saying? And women usually act off of impulse and emotion. So if you can get them emotional during the service, guess what? You can get them to go into their wallets. And they're in the church. They don't have a man to tell them, hey, baby, oh, baby, you gonna give up the whole. You know what I'm saying? You gonna $500. You know what I mean? You don't get. They about to write the check. Like, can I get the check, please? Like the little envelope. They got the little. They want the envelope. That's the big money right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody there to tell grandma, you show. I mean, I know you ain't got nothing to really pay. You done paid everything, but you gonna give us $1,000 to the church. Right. You know, I mean, and that's what they feed off of. That's what these churches feast off of. And we have to understand that, man. It's like, you know, it's really sad because our people are truly there's people in the church that are truly looking for salvation. They go to church because they know they done messed up all their life. They know that, you know, what they doing is wrong, and they truly want to come and change. They feel it deep down in their heart that they really want to change, but they just don't know where to go. You might find a ex-drug dealer that just say, you know what, man, I've been doing this for all my life. I'm wrong. I need to go to church. They think the church is the answer, but the church is not the answer because the pastor, and like I said, I'm not pinpointing any individual pastor, because there are certain churches out there where the pastor may be genuine, but he just don't know the Bible. But most of them, they know what they're doing. Most of them know that they're bamboozling you, and they have no conscience. They have no heart. They in the church molesting the kids. They in that, committing adultery with another man's wife. You know what I'm saying? Half the time, like, they're not in there sincere. In fact, everybody knows the pastor be the worst. Like, out of everybody in the churches, when we in the body of the church, we talking. We like, shit, he ain't no better than us. So he can't say nothing about. Like, you could go to church high and not feel any type of, like, feel bad about it. Cause you like, shit, I know the pastor. I know he over there. You know what I'm saying? He messing with such and such wife. You know what I'm saying? So what are you gonna say to me about getting high before I come to church? And that's why it's so much corruption in the church, because there's no accountability. But guess what? You can't hold somebody accountable when there's skeletons in your closet. Like, you're not gonna hold nobody accountable because you like, well, shit, I can't really say nothing to him because I know what I'm doing. You know, so, but here in the I.S.U.P.K, we hold each other accountable. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the part where that's what you need in a body of people. You need accountability. You need genuine. This is what I.S.U.P.K is here. You can genuinely you can get salvation here. You can genuinely seek the Lord here, because we're not here to collect a check. We're not here to, you know, to take from you. Now, whatever you donate is what you donate. You know, of course, you're supposed to pay your tithes to the men of the Lord, the real men of the Lord out here doing the work. You understand what I'm saying? But nobody's going around, you know, passing collection plate around telling you, hey, you got to do this. We just tell you the law, and it's up to you to follow it. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody's forcing. We don't have no collection plate here now, SUPK. We don't pass around a collection plate. We just tell you, hey, pay your tithes to the men of the Lord. That is a law. And it's up to you to follow that law. But in that church, oh, man, they're going to pass that plate around about 4 times. They're going to make sure you better find a penny on the floor. You better get a penny from your neighbor, get a quarter from your neighbor, even the children. You ain't exempt. Get a quarter from your mama and put it in that collection plate. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what they feed off of, man. It's a business. You understand what I'm saying? But they're not going to tell you the truth according to the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Whether intentionally or just the fact that they wasn't taught. Go ahead and give me Revelation 1-13.
God, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot.
Salakia, let me address the chat real quick. Katrina, hey, shalom, sis, Sister Katrina, shalom, young man Gerald, Issachar in time. Oh, Salakia, young man Edgar, shalom, Lord of Christ, King Hezekiah. That's correct. Counsel, you know, you will get counsel talking about the LGBT, and shalom, Lord of Christ to you. Panayana, Yasha Allah, shalom, sis. Most High in Christ. You know, I like to interact with my chat. So if y'all have any questions, go ahead and type your questions in the chat, and just continue to, you know, interact or whatever. So, you know, it just makes the class easier. Like I said, if you have any questions or you have anything to add to the chat, go ahead and add. And this is on YouTube. I'll check Facebook here in a second. But go ahead with your with the reading, Salakia.
God, this is Revelation chapter 1, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot.
So in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot. So this right here is describing Christ. You understand? The Son of Man. It says, in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man. This is describing Christ. Go ahead.
And girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
So now about the paps, that's talking about like the waist. It's like a belt, your belt line. You understand what I'm saying? And he said girt about the paps, meaning he had on something about the paps, and it said a golden girdle, which is it's a part of a garment that it's like the belt of a garment. You understand what I'm saying? To hold your garment up or to hold it in place. You understand? It was a golden girdle. So you talking about royalty. You understand what I'm saying? He had probably one of the baddest garments on the planet. Go ahead.
Verse 15, Slakia, verse 14. His head and his hairs were like white like wool.
So his head and his hairs. So we talking about the hairs on his body, the hairs that come from him, his facial hairs and hairs like it said his hairs were white like wool. So you're talking about, beard and mustache and, the head of his hairs, maybe even eyebrows. You understand what I'm saying? Right. His hairs and his head were white. White is the color like wool. You understand? White like wool. Wool is the texture. So how do you get that? Like, there's no way you can get this mixed up. It was white like wool. You understand what I'm saying? Not white like, like the fabric wool, it was white like that. No, white was the color, wool was the texture.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
White as snow.
As white as snow. So, again, it's talking about the color. Keep going.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire. You understand that? That's talking about, Christ. Christ like that. He liked to indulge in a little bit of drinking every now and then. It ain't nothing crazy. He wasn't what they call a drunkard. But when you drink, your eyes be red. You understand what I'm saying? And it's the scriptures are manifold. It's also talking about the anger of the Lord. Christ had for what is happening to his people too. You understand what I'm saying? So it's manifold. But it says his eyes was as red like a flame of fire. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass.
So his feet was like unto fine brass. So like the color of this wood, you know what I'm saying? His feet was like, I'm trying to think of something that's not gold but brass. I mean, of course you can use a penny. You can use copper, any type of copper. It's like that's brass. You understand what I'm saying? His feet was like unto fine brass. Go ahead.
And his as if they burned in a furnace.
As if they burnt in a furnace. So now, anything that you burn is going to come out black as hell. There's no way around it. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care what it is. It could be a quarter. It could be silver. If you burn it, it's going to come out black. So Christ was a very dark-skinned man. You understand what I'm saying? Is there any more on that?
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
And his voice is as the sound of many waters, meaning he didn't speak like, Michael Jackson. Right. He didn't speak all soft and, hey, what's going on? And no, his voice had the sound of many waters. When you hear waters clashing against each other, it's loud. If you ever stand next to an ocean or even a lake or a river, when that waves get to hitting and clashing against each other, it's very loud. You have to talk, like you can't really even hear over it. Like you have to talk real loud when you're at the beach, because the waters are so loud, the waves crashing and stuff like that. That's how Christ's voice was. When he talked, his voice protruded. You understand what I'm saying? Projected, like very loud. He spoke with some authority. You understand what I'm saying? Like a real man. That's how Christ, that's the description of Christ. You understand? Give me Jeremiah 14:2.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Judah mourneth, And the gates thereof languish.
Judah mourneth. So Judah, the word Jew derives from the word Judah. You understand what I'm saying? It says Judah mourneth. This is a scripture describing the real Jews of the Bible. Judah mourneth. Why did they mourn? Go ahead.
They are black unto the ground.
Why did they mourn?
And the gates thereof languish.
Because the gates thereof languish, meaning the gates, the protection, the hedge of protection for the black community, languish, meaning weak. It's not strong enough. We don't have real strong black leaders to protect us. We don't have nobody that's gonna stop the police brutality in the black community. We don't have nobody strong enough to stand up to the persecution that we face, on a daily basis, man. We don't have that because we don't have nobody strong enough, and because they're weak. That's why us as black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, that's why we mourn like that. But more importantly, this is talking about the so-called Negro, because it says Judah. You understand what I'm saying? Judah mourning. It's talking about the so-called Negro. The reason why we're in mourning is because that's why we crying out, because we getting stereotyped and killed and just drugs planted on us. Like, you get 3 strikes before we already had 2 strikes before we become, before we hit 20 years old.
Right.
You get 2 strikes just for being born black.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you already got everything accounting against you as a young black man growing up in America. When I say black, I'm talking about so-called Negroes at this point. But black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, it applies to you too. But this verse is specifically talking about the tribe of Judah, which means, well, that part, when they say Judah mourneth and the gates thereof language, you know what I'm saying? Language, that's talking about how the leadership in the so-called Negro community has failed us. Right. That's what that's talking about.
All right. If I may,
go ahead.
What you're saying is heavy because they just recently had a movie that portrayed pretty much like all the black characteristics that they see in us, pretty much like our culture. That movie, They Clone Tyrone.
I haven't even seen it.
But so basically, you know what I'm saying, it was what, 4, 1, 2, 3. It was 4 people, 4 characters that pretty much portrayed what people see in the black community. And it was a pimp, it was a whore, it was a gangster, it was a drug dealer, and then they had the Christian pastor. You know what I'm saying? And then, throughout the movie, you know what I'm saying, it came to pass that the Christian pastor ended up leading the people wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, well, and what's crazy is like everything that they did in the movie was like pretty much like the downfall of black people. You know what I'm saying? And how our oppressors, paint that picture of like the title says, right, in a wrong way, you know what I'm saying, controlling us to keep us down. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy how it wasn't no successful, like black people in there trying to, do anything.
What's so heavy about that? And I'm glad you brought that up, even though I never seen that movie. You know what I'm saying? What's so heavy about that is the reason why that they can put a movie out like that is because of that's what they succeeded. Right. And that's the product from that. Like, they took Crafty Counsel and created that monster in the black community. Those 4 personalities, they created that. You understand what I'm saying? They created that by locking us, putting us up in the ghettos, you understand, in low income areas where we had to fight tooth and nail just to make it. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Then we take a path of, okay, it's all of those are still hustles. Pimp, drug dealer, the whores, you understand what I'm saying? And the Christian pastor, all of those are hustles. It's just different ways you decide to go about doing it, but you're still hustling because you're trying to make a way. You come from a community, not like most black pastors come from that same environment. Right. You'll hear him telling the stories like, oh yeah, I grew up right around the corner from Worthing High, and yeah, we used to do this, we used to do that. Yeah, so you decided you didn't want to go the drug dealer route, or you did at one point, and it wasn't as successful for you. You didn't want to, or the same thing with the pimping. You're not a female, so you ain't gonna successfully sell your body like they could. So you decided to be a pastor. And you built that church in your community because your community is going to support you because they see where you come from and they think you're on the right path because you're a pastor, but really you're deceiving them. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Which makes you worse. You're a wolf in sheep's clothing. But guess what? It's still all the product of the oppressor. All of it is. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why they can come up with a movie that's so successful, because it's just like the Willie Lynch letter. A lot of people can argue that it wasn't real, but the things that were in it were very much reality. Right. That is how you control a people. That is how you get a people to be docile. That's how you get a people to do exactly what you want them to do, like we've done. Right. When you read the Willie Lynch letter, it is very much relevant. People can say it's fake. It doesn't matter. Somebody had the thought process to come up with this. That is a successful recipe for the downfall of a people. And it just so happens that it's the downfall of Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. You understand what I'm saying? So, and that's why people need to start to wake up and understand and realize what's going on, man. This is not a game. We got to snap out of like what this reality that we've created for ourselves, like this false reality. We got to snap out of it. It's okay to live your life and enjoy life and have fun. Live your best life and be happy, but don't get out of tune with what's really going on. Still understand that, okay, you may be able to go on a cruise. You may be able to go to Paris or Dubai, whatever. You may have a little money, but you're still Black. And you still live in America, you're still oppressed as a people. Like, we got to stop being selfish as a people and say, well, I may not be facing police brutality, but my brothers are, my sisters are. You understand? It ain't just Black men, it's Black women too. I was just looking at I just read a story about a sister in Harris County. Not too long after she got arrested, she got killed. They were saying she died in their in Harris County custody, saying that, she was mentally ill. It's no different from Sandra Bland. You understand what I'm saying? Corin Gaines. Our sisters are getting killed too. Our sisters are dying by the hands of our oppressor too. So this is a problem that Black men and women need to come together, and we got to come together as one. We're teammates. We're not enemies. We got to come together, man, and we got to fight this. But we all, like the scripture says, can two or more walk together lest they be agreed. The only way we're going to be able to fight this is that we're on the same page. Now, we came together with the Alabama thing. That was the beginning of it. You understand what I'm saying? We need to come together. Gather yourselves together. Salakia.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
We need to gather ourselves together because we are the nation not desired on this earth. As you can see through the Alabama situation, they hate us, man. This Black man was doing his job. He's working at a riverboat, and this is also one of the more racist, cities and states that's out here in the South. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of rich racial history in Alabama. You understand what I'm saying? And guess what? It's like this Black man was just doing his job, saying, hey, you can't park your boat right there. He would have told a group of Black people the same thing. But guess what? This group of Caucasians, they took it upon themselves to decide to go against what this Black man is saying. Not only do that, but they attacked him. They racially attacked this man. Now, they can't prove it. They can't sit here and say, oh, yeah, this was a racially motivated crime by law, because certain words and certain actions have to follow for them to be able to file it under, a hate crime by law. But we ain't stupid. We know what we saw. We saw a gang of Caucasians ganging up on one Black man. And guess what? We band together, man. Our people came together and said, no, we're not having that. So guess what? Just like they gathered themselves together, we need to gather ourselves together as a people all over. And not just to fight physically against them, but to spiritually fight against them. And how do we do that? We got to come together, turn back to our culture, our true heritage, our true culture, our true, nationality. Understand that we are the true chosen people of the Lord, the 12 tribes of Israel. You understand what I'm saying? We are, God's chosen people. We have laws, statutes, commandments that we need to follow in this Bible. We have to live right. We got to put the drugs down. We got to put the guns down. Stop trying to fight against each other. When I say put the guns down, let's turn that, negativity towards each other into a positive. Come together and fight for something that's right. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying go out here and physically fight against the oppressor. No, I'm not saying that that's the way. But you definitely have a right to defend yourselves like they did, and you have a right to defend your brother or sister. You understand what I'm saying? That is your God-given right. You have the right to do so. So, hey, I'm not saying to do it, but hey, Moses did it. I ain't saying don't go and do nothing crazy, but you have a right to self-defense, man. And we need to have that spirit all over the place for Black Hispanics instead of gearing it towards each other. In the home, we need to love each other, Black man, Black woman. We need to not be enemies with each other. This is not a competition. This is not the Black man is better than the Black woman. This ain't that. You understand? We need to be on the same page in order to fight this fight. All right. Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Yea, gather together before the fierce anger of the Lord. You understand? Is going to come upon you, man. Like the Lord is angry at us because we are fighting each other instead of helping each other. So that's all I wanted on that. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28:68.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
My bad. Salakia. Read it from the top again. Salakia.
God. Deuteronomy 28:68.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Now it says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. This is not talking about a physical body of water. I mean, this is not talking about Salakia. This is not talking about the physical land of Egypt. This is talking about a physical body of water that you had to travel through to get to a certain place. Egypt, if you look up the word Egypt in Hebrew and find out the definition of what Egypt means, it just means bondage or house of bondage. So Egypt is an actual land, and it also means house of bondage. So at one point, we were brought into Egypt in slavery. We were enslaved by the Egyptians. But this says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again, but with ships. So this was the transatlantic slave trade. This is talking about when we were slaves on that boat. Yeah, see, a lot of people don't know that the Bible actually talks about the transatlantic slave trade. The biblical prophecies, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just amazing when you really find out about this Bible, when you really read it and understand that this Bible is written for Black people. It says, the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Go ahead.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Mm-hmm.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
And there it said, thou shalt see it no more again. Meaning you're not gonna go, you ain't gonna see you're gonna get travel from that land, and that was gonna be it. For our forefathers that actually rode on them ships, that was the last time that they seen that land. That was the last time that they seen Israel, because we fled into Israel. I mean, we fled into West Africa from Israel during I want to say was it 1720? What during the Roman persecution? I want to say 1720. Let me see. I could be wrong. Let's get I don't want to. We make sure we hold on. Persecution. Okay, so persecution of Christians in the Roman Empire. Was it the Pope can read that. So let me make sure I get the actual. I mean, it's a 70 AD. That's what I'm thinking about. 70 AD is when the Romans came and invaded the siege of Jerusalem. That's what I'm talking about. The Romans came and invaded Jerusalem to kill the real Jews. And we fled into West Africa because of the skin color. It's similar. So so-called Negroes are similar to how Africans look as far as skin color wise. You could get us confused. You understand what I'm saying? So if you don't know the difference between the two people, it's easy for us to blend in and not be like what they're gonna say. They can't say, hey, these people don't belong to this land because we look similar. We have a similar look. So it's hard to tell us apart from the Romans couldn't tell us apart. That's how we was able to go into West Africa and survive. And the Africans did not want us there. They did not want us there so much to the point where they hated us. They pretty much let us they separated themselves from us and they gave us our own land within that west part of Africa called the land of Judah in West Africa. You understand what I'm saying? They gave it like, you know what, we're gonna stay away from these people. These people ain't our people. Now, some probably mixed with the Africans and stuff like that. Maybe very few, but them people did not want us over there. And at the first chance that they could get, they sold us into slavery to the oppressor.
Right.
I mean, the first opportunity, and the oppressor lied to them too. Told them they was gonna give them this, and that. They never got it, but they were so happy to get rid of us because we were not them. They didn't want us in our land, in their land anyway. You understand? So they sold us out, man. Let me catch up on some of these comments. Okay. Young man, Guillermo from El Paso, Shalom, Lord in Christ. King Hezekiah says the depiction of Christ is right in the Bible, but the 2/3 will still worship and serve that false image. Well, that is true, but we kind of don't get into the whole 2/3 argument because at the end of the day, you could be part of the 2/3. I could be part of the 2/3. You understand?
Right.
Like we don't know because that the scripture says, "He that endured to the end, the same shall be saved." So until we make it to that finish line, any one of us could fall, and because it's the scripture even say a righteous man can fall, 7 times. So you could be righteous at one point and you can fall. It's all about how you bounce back. You might be righteous, but then you fall and you might not be able to bounce back. It can happen. So we don't tend to talk about, oh yeah, the 2/3 like as if we can't be a part of those 2/3. But you're not wrong with and the reason why the two, I wouldn't even say it's the 2/3 that worship that image. I wouldn't even call them the 2/3 because, like I said, at one point I was for sure a part of that 2/3, and I'm not saved yet. You understand? But I really didn't worship Christ as a white man. Of course, I didn't know he was a black man either, but I didn't necessarily worship him as a white man. So I wouldn't even say that about those Christians that are lost, but that is the image that's perpetuated upon them. That is the mark of the beast. So whether or not they're doing it like they're serving him self-consciously, whether or not they know it or not. You understand what I'm saying? Because of famine, yes, that's true. I thought Judah was the 3 southern tribes, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Yes, Judah is one of the 3 southern tribes, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, but Judah is the so-called Negroes. Benjamin are Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. You're right. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, I guess you could say, are the so-called. That is true. I use Judah because the scripture was talking about Judah. They didn't mention Benjamin or Levi. But yes, Benjamin himself as well. Life that is true. Unity, not being selfish, could be to let go. Okay, hold on. Let me see. All right, if y'all can hear me, type a 1 in the chat. Yeah, I can hear it through your phone. Okay, they can hear. Most High in Christ. Okay, we back up. What was it? It just switched over on its own or something? Okay, Most High in Christ. All right, so yeah, like I was saying, I was reading the comments. I was saying, yeah, being selfish could be one of the hardest things to let go because again, we're living in we're put in a situation where it's like a dog eat dog mentality. You know, the ghettos of America, you know, you got is only the strongest survive. So of course you're gonna be selfish because that's what we were taught. That's how we were raised to be selfish. We're raised to, you know, look out for ourselves and our family. But we need to look out for each other and look at each other as a big family. You understand what I'm saying? Then we can really be on top. Then we can really do some damage. We can really conquer some things. If Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians really come together, we could really do some damage. And I say Hispanics, but I mean all my Latino brothers and sisters. All of, you know, I love my Latino brothers and sisters, man. It's a wonderful thing to, you know, man, it's just a wonderful thing for Black and brown to come together in unity because they can't stop us. And they know they can't stop us. So that's why they try to, what's the word? They try to pit us against each other because they know, okay, there's no way we can let the Black and brown communities come together because if they come together, it's already bad enough if the brown community all came together. If the Black community all came together alone, it could, you know, destroy some stuff. But if the Black and brown community come together, man, come on now. It ain't nothing that we couldn't accomplish that we would want to accomplish, man. You know, and that's what we got to do. We got to gather ourselves together. It's very important in these times, man. Very important. You understand? Let me see. Where was I at? Okay, let me get Isaiah 14:2. This is what's going to happen, you know. So there's going to come a time where the tables are going to turn. And when the tables turn, we got to be ready. That's why I said when we actually come together, we are going to conquer some stuff. And when we finally do come together, this is what's going to happen. Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 2.
Uh-huh.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
That's what's going to happen. It says, and the people shall take them. That's us. That's talking about Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. When we come together finally, and we actually, you know, walk together and agree with each other, and we come back to these laws, statutes, commandments, guess what? We are gonna take them, we're gonna take them and bring them to our place, our land. You understand? And it says the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. Go ahead.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
They shall take them captives, them same people that oppress us right now, the same people that got their foot on our neck, the same people that killed Mike Brown, the same people that killed George Floyd, the same people that killed Philando Castile, the same people that killed Corrin Gaines. I'm trying to think of some name, Laquan McDonald. You understand what I'm saying? Sean, what's his name? Sean Bell. I'm trying to think of names that aren't always talked about. You know what I'm saying? Eric Gardner, that's one that's always talked about. But y'all get what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? The same people that killed them, Alton Sterling, you know, they died gruesome deaths. You know, the same people that killed them and that's killing us is the same people that we're going to take captive. Like, we are going to have our chance. You know what I'm saying? And guess what, though? We're not going to be like them, no. We're not going to be like them. But we will have our vengeance. We will have our chance. And I can't wait for that day, man. Keep going.
God. And they shall rule over their oppressors.
We shall rule over our oppressors, man. This is what the Bible says. This is in Isaiah chapter 14, verse 2. Drop down to verse 21.
This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers.
Prepare slaughter for his children, meaning the people that oppress us, the people that took us into slavery back then, the people that whipped us in our backs, we're preparing slaughter for his children. So we're talking about, so even though the people that's walking around here nowadays, they're his children. They are the descendants or the seed of the people, the oppressors that whipped our backs back then, that whipped our forefathers. You understand what I'm saying? So we're preparing slaughter for them and their children.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Who for the iniquity of their fathers. So they reap the benefits of the slave masters that enslaved us. The children of those slave masters reap the benefits. So guess what? We're preparing slaughter for them. That's what the Bible says. Thus said the Lord. Go ahead.
That they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Nor they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Meaning all the stuff that they doing on this earth right now, it'll be no more. They ain't gonna be in rulership no more. They're not gonna be doing no more building and expanding and just spreading their seed all over the place like they just like they run stuff. That's gonna be no more. Thus said the Lord. You understand? They're not gonna rise. They're not gonna possess the land anymore, and they're not gonna they're not gonna keep building all the stuff that they didn't built and destroyed. Animals and the fish of the sea and the fowls of the air and the beasts of the field. They didn't destroy them for too long. We're gonna put an end to that because we're gonna rule this place righteously, and we're not gonna allow that to happen anymore. We're not gonna allow them to just roam free. We're not gonna allow them to just do what they want to do. We are gonna rule over them. You understand what I'm saying? Thus said the Lord. So that's the day that I can't wait for. But we have to endure to the end, man. We have to fight. You understand what I'm saying? We have to love each other. We have to come together as people. We got to understand that this Bible, these law, statutes, commandments, this history is written for Black people, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. It's not for nobody else. We need to stop trying to share our precious treasures with the world. You understand what I'm saying? Love each other. Follow these law, statutes, commandments. Do what the Lord tell you to do. Let's lean not on our own understanding. Let's remove our emotions when dealing with this Bible. Let's deal with reality. You understand what I'm saying? And with that, make sure you pay your tithes to the men of the Lord. www.ISUPK144.com. Click the donation link. Go ahead and pay your tithes. That is law. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna micromanage you and force you to do it. We're not the Christian church. We're not gonna pass around. Like I said, we're not going to pass around the collection plate. You know what the law is. You know you're supposed to follow the law. Pay your tithes to the real men of the Lord who's out here putting in work in the streets. We got feeding. We got food programs, prison programs. You understand what I'm saying? We out here really doing the work of the Lord. Commander Junior Honor deserves that tithe money, and that's where it's supposed to go. You understand? With that, I'm going to pass the class over to Officer Ron for the security announcements.
Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, out of the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, Mayasharah, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations is the memorial blowing of trumpets, which is the first day of the 7th month, which is Friday, September 15, 2023, out of the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 24 through 25. If anyone wants to become a trooper in the schools, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And these are security announcements.
All right, with that, stand. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Amana Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabrakatah, Yahya Matah. Sorry. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amana Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shemal Atah by Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Yahya Matah. Dismissed. All right.